Luca? What do you do? I didn't. Did Lakers play today? There's my streamer bot there. There we go. I gotta do some back end OBS updates at some point. Been kind of slacking on getting that done. Anyhow, we are coming to the final night of Diablo 4 until or the final night of Diablo 4 until Monster Hunter Wilds comes, basically. Oh, not like final. No. But like the final time that I'll be logging into D4 until Monster Hunter Wilds comes. And then I won't be doing anything D4 related until the mid-season patch. If they make some pretty major changes in the mid-season patch, and if they don't, then of course I'll be back for the PTR, because it is definitely my obligation to do PTR. So they beat the Horseman in Denver. Don't let Jokic hear you say horse. It's ponies. No, I'm kidding. So I'm gonna finish getting my Heartseeker to T4. Already leveling Heartseeker to T4, and then after that, going right into more D3. And then on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because I'm gonna take off Sunday, because Sunday nights is usually my day off anyway. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be pushes for Diablo 3. Depending on how fast I get the pushes done, I might take Wednesday night off so I can be well rested for Thursday evening. Because as on my side, apparently Monster Hunter Wilds releases midnight Thursday night on my side, so it'll be literally Friday morning / Thursday night. So, but we'll see. Just know that we got a really busy weekend next weekend. They were tripling you. He still had a triple double though. Did Jamal Murray do anything? I hear he's been doing actually kind of okay, or actually quite good in like the relative recent. But Cherry, what's going on? Okay. So what do I need to do here? I gotta fix this. Doesn't need to be perfect. I just need to get some intel going on. What level is my control? Not leveled at all. Okay. Except level 1. That explains a lot. Alright, well. This should be good enough to activate the glyph though, no? Even without the range. At least so I thought. I guess not, no. $20. No? Okay. That's right. Well, we can do some pits real quick. Knock those out real quick. I'm still in search for, what is it? Ancestral weapon and cold clip are the two things. And such a weapon, cold clip, and a better shard. Murray had 19. Oof. So all that triple teaming, and that's all he pulled off. Let me see. Let's go 45. What does 45 feel like? We're still using. No, actually, I'm out of the other elixir. I need to craft some more. Let's see. Elixir of. Just 10. 10's fine. Star Citizen has always been the end game for you, and they announced 1.0, so major hype. When is that coming out? Actually, this isn't too bad. Probably could have went for the 50. Then again, we're just trying to get some quick levels for control. Got GR 136 down. What class are you playing? Sometime this year, I was streaming it today. You should pop in. By the game. The game is amazing looking. When is that actually coming out though? Like actual starts. I'm assuming 1.0 is like the actual release. But that's kind of been in like, you know, development for like forever. I know it's like basically a one-man dev team, but still. I've been following it kind of loosely. You pushing Bell? I'm okay. I'm back to playing fire on my Impel Demon Hunter. So I'm no longer doing lightning for speeds anymore. There's a reason why I like fire. It took me a while to figure it out. Until earlier today when I hopped on just for a teeny bit. I made the switch and I was like, oh, this is why. Oh man, are you serious? I have nothing else left. I gotta go back to the first floor. I've been playing too much D3. I probably skipped too many mobs. You have paper towel for armor on either. Yeah, this has been such a terrible run. I think I can treat myself to a cold gym, which I think. What am I wearing? Control, yeah. It feels so weird though. Like it feels so weird playing this right after playing like D3 in terms of buttons and stuff. Feels like I haven't been on this in like forever. All right, we can at least get ourselves or grab ourselves in the cult gym, right? Won't be cheating, right? It's the only ancestral weapon I got right now too. It's pretty awful. Where are my occult gems actually? They're probably on. They're on the other character. Huh. All right. Well, no occult gems then. We'll run without. Actually, let's see how much it costs. I might just buy another. See if I can get Totaling's Wish real quick. Now I'm about to talk to y'all. I guess they won't let me actually purchase any gems on the alt. I have to just kind of use what I already got. Okay. Not cool, but all right. I guess I understand. Shadow step. No. No cold clip. No. Still no. Rapid fire. Sag. Particle is up, man. Yeah, I really don't feel like on my other account just to grab a gem or two, so we're gonna just do it without. What's at this point? I wonder if I had just any spare ancestral bows just for the hell of it, so I don't have to like necessarily farm for one. Just speeding up the simulation basically. Wiggity was up. So now I'm gonna be able to get that range buff now. Let's take a look at glyph now, 32. That's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. Like, this do really make a big difference early on, man. Like, when your build is not like completely OP, you have to actually try to make some progress somewhere pretty early on. This are pretty major. What am I cooking up, dude? Well, this is kind of the same thing I've been doing for the past week, but just like in a very slow manner. Still trying to finish up the Heartseeker leveling build, I guess you could say. We don't really have one, and there really isn't really one that actually like exists. So I'm just trying to finish it up, get it to T4, and then kind of stop. That'll be it for D4 for a bit for me after that. Until the mid-season patch, that is. So of course, obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds is 5 days from now, so. Oof. That hurt. The link I sent you, yeah. I actually responded back. It was like a while after you sent it though. I didn't see it until like, you know, earlier today. But I did. I signed up and everything. So just waiting for a response on their end. Did you get one, by the way, or from them? Eric, what's going on? Let's try to get turf to 46. You're looking out for it, you know. Oh, I got you. The response yet? You have a pre-order. I have a pre-order still too as well. How long ago did you apply? So I can kind of get and kind of like a time frame. We're gonna say user always OP. You should see my shadow impale later on today or later on in the stream, man. I kind of got that like up and running pretty good now. Especially after switching to fire, I felt better for the speeds. Oh, right before you said, okay. Okay, I thought maybe you had like a couple of days head start or something. All right, so you're in the same boat as I am. All right. Does anyone know if campaign is co-op, or like, you know, can you do a campaign in group play, or is it solo only for wilds? I don't really mind either way. I just kind of curious. Okay. Why in the group leader can choose a quest? I figured that makes sense. Yeah, dude, the glyph levels makes a huge difference, right? When you have a build that isn't like OP, but you have to actually like progress in the build. God, this bow is so bad. I'm tempted to go ahead and use it because I just don't I don't have a better option. Okay, that gives me the legendary upgrade there. It's good. I'll go ahead and do that for Headhunter too. Let's go ahead and get that up there. Having Dex this early is kind of huge. Other than Monster Hunter stuff, I haven't been. Honestly, I'm trying to take care of things before Monster Hunter arrives. Trying to get this doctor's appointment in before Thursday evening / Friday morning. Unfortunately, the doctor's appointment is actually literally on that same day. Hopefully, it's not like terrible news, and then I can like do a follow up a little bit later about what to do with the issue, or maybe they could give me some pills or something. We'll see. Wait for your stream because you're 3 hours ahead of me. Oh man, where do you live? To be 3 hours ahead of me. Because if I'm East Coast United States, then you're like but to be honest too, I've been kind of starting my stream kind of late as well, like later than I usually have been wanting to, so that's partially on me as well. Usually I try to start at like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but so in reality I probably should have started my stream about 2 hours. Actually, yeah, 2 hours ago. No, 3 hours ago actually. You said low back can be caused from you favoring the non-hernia side. Not the same problem. Throws your hips on one side out of whack. That honestly could be it. That probably makes a lot of sense. Mr. Guapi, what's going on? Guapi? Something like that. Am I even close? Yeah, yo, those glyph levels are so crucial early on. And non-OP builds. Yeah, I don't give me no GAs for nothing. Two more GRs. Maxes out my headhunter. Not maxes up, but gives me what, 46 to the headhunter. And then we'll try to go for ancestral weapon with the ovals. Keyword try. I am convinced that cold clip does not exist on my client on my server. Yeah. I also need to do like durial. I'm gonna do like 2 runs of durial, assuming I'd probably already have that many masks by now. See if I can get like a God Slayers or something, or a helm. One more pit. What build is this? Oh, Heartseeker. But I decided to do like a leveling or create a leveling version from scratch. So on my leveling journey, I am in T3 currently, trying to get into T4. I mean, I can get into T4 right now, but like I'd be kind of struggling to kill things in T4. So I know what I need to get to make T4 a smooth transition. So working towards that right now. But yeah, I really do like Heartseeker as a build in general. But I already have an endgame version of this that I play. Parents, what's going on? I'm dressed in all black. I gotta wash all my other like shirts that I wear on stream. Yeah, that should put my headhunter at what, 46 now? Okay, nice. Alright, let me see if I can get... I still don't have an ancestral weapon yet either. No ancestral weapon, no cold clip. And a pretty low damage short of Varathiel. Oops. Two bows. Nice, nice. We got... Yo, this is it right here. Yeah, there we go. Finally, ancestral weapon. That's big. Big damage now. And what we're gonna get? I guess we'll get more gloves. Nothing. Okay. Cool. Ton of temper. Actually a decent weapon now. Let's see, Heartseeker. Projectiles. Come on, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Yeah, it's gonna do this to me. 1%. All right, well, I better roll close damage, distant damage. Okay, close damage. That was close. That was way too close. All right. Okay, so we need to do... Change this to health. Maximum health, that's fine. Imprint. Rise. And just to speed up this process a little bit, I'm going to pretend that I already got cold clip. I think I deserve it now. Right now. Because normally it shouldn't have taken this long for me to get one. To balance things out, I'm not using any of the wish power, so we'll call that even. Masterwork. Let's bring this up. all stats really. Alright, send a master word to bow. Nice on the close damage. I think we can go one more. Should be able to afford one more. Maximum life. Okay, we'll do that.
Well done. Stars guide you.
Okay. Actually, what was on that? Sir Lum? I don't think I need Lum anymore though.
I'll keep my forge hot. Return soon.
I don't think I found any other runes though. Supposed to do Sir something. Oh, we'll throw in Watt for now. I did find Mott, so I think we'll do Mott whenever I have to get rid of Dark Shroud here at some point. My armor is really low. My damage is fine. Okay. Alright, let's do a few durials. Actually, do I have any master durial? Actually, in general, I do. Alright, I got enough for a couple. Hopefully we'll pick up a God Slayer or like a really good Calvin Nameless, which I know I'm not gonna be able to get, but it'd be dope if I did. Like a good one. And now that I got that, I can do this. Get one more point. I guess we can take it from Alchemist Fortune for now. Okay. Yeah. Full clip. Two runs of durial. That's not bad for T3. Yeah, what did I get? God Slayers, okay. It's kind of meh, but actually, I should do shadow imbue here instead of crowd control. Duration on this chest. Hmm. 2 helms now. Only +1 to trick attacks on this cow. 33% God Slayers. Also a 39 one. Theoretically, if Wadahakon had a GA on all AB miss, would there be a slight DPS increase in your main avails build? No. Nope. Because you're not really dealing any actual poison damage. And then like the shadow imbuement explosions are like peanuts. So not really. Like, and cold imbuement doesn't deal any damage at all. In terms of like actual like damage from it, you just basically chill them more effectively with more imbuements or rank similar to imbuements. So it's pretty much really not worth, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely not worth. It's interesting though, I mean, because you kind of think with being able to get all 3 imbuements because of the the amulet that would be worth something, but it's not. See. Oh, a 2 GA helm? Yo, this trick attacks is better than the one I have on my main character. It's called a nameless helm. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Alright, well, there's our helm, I guess. Helm that I actually want to put on my main character. I still only have a single GA called a nameless on my main character. So that's pretty big, especially this early. That's like really big.
How can I help?
But let's I'm on a tempers. A chest. Okay, so I only had the plus on the helm thing. Okay, I guess it'd be time pretty soon for me to get rid of shadow imbuement. Actually, no, not really, because it's still really good.
Come back if you
This
really
early.
want.
It falls off like in higher pits, but let's put that there. we won't get too many mats there. Rapid gambits. Yep, I wouldn't have time to. Normally I wouldn't have enough mats to keep going. But that's pretty dope. We'll take that. Okay, with that being said, we don't have Dark Shroud anymore, so we're gonna have to go with Mott. Which we did find, so I'm not cheating. Let's see. I know somewhere. There it is. Yep, we did find it, so we'll use that. Cool. Also, where's the jeweler? Gillis. Let's go ahead and make a we'll make one. Put that there. Alright, I think this is fair. I don't have another whatchamacallit, so see if we can kind of sneak a in front of hordes key or something real quick. I don't think I can actually go through this without actually clearing it. Can I? Technically. Yeah. 'Cause I can't go up. Okay. So I have to finish this whatchamacallit. Wait, where's the body? Oh, there it is. Come on out. Come on. Okay, I guess I could stop picking up regular legendaries now. I did all that just so that I can get to this area. Even with the pretty bad shard, I think this is still enough for me to get into T4. Pretty smooth. Yeah, I think so. After that, I'll do a little bit of T4 and then we'll play some D3. Ooh, dungeon keys. Ooh, Infernal Hordes actually. Okay. Kind of looked out there. However, let's do it without a good shard. Let's see if we can do it without a good shard. But we're gonna have to craft some incense though. Armor so low. Jeez. Put raw armor on my amulet for now.
That looks worn. I can fix it.
Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, fixes is on here. That's a lot of fixes. Jeez. Kind of forgot. Alright. I don't want to roll too much because I know I wouldn't have this much gold to roll. Okay, that'll work. Let's craft some instances as well. Okay. Yeah, this will work. So we'll do that. Throw an instance this in there. Yep. Time to do the pit 65 real quick. Nico, what's going on? You said first time here. Are we doing well? Doing all right. I'm trying to simulate a leveling build that doesn't really exist. So I'm actually trying to make one. Like I kind of known for Heartseeker in terms of like one of the road guides, like, but I never really made a leveling one before because you kind of really couldn't mostly. But yeah, I'm trying to change that. Yeah, so far so good. We still got a crappy shard, no wish powers or anything. And we're about to enter our T4. Pretty convincingly too. All it took was after getting the ancestral weapon. Also, the Kala Nameless is actually pretty baller too. That I got from Durial after the third run. I dashed right into that. I was trying to dash past it. Is there anything in D4 like God DH or POJ Monk? Dance of Knives, but it's honestly I don't think it's as cool as God 6, honestly. But it's the closest thing you have, and it is technically spin to win. Gunners, what's up? Yeah, this isn't bad. I would say overall, this was a pretty smooth experience for Heartseeker. It is a little getting from T3 to T4 is definitely a little more challenging because the stuff that you need is kind of is rare to drop. Also a shard of Arathia, which you need from the frontal hordes, but the frontal horde keys are so rare. It kind of makes getting that weapon pretty hard to obtain. Also Moonrise in the 1 to 60 leveling wasn't too terrible without, but Moonrise got me going from doing hard difficulty right into penitent difficulty the moment I got Moonrise. So that's pretty dope. Not bad. Okay, cool. Torment 4 unlocked. Thank you. I've only used 3 Paragon boards for this, so purposely did not tack on my last 2 Paragon boards. Okay. Now that we're in T4, let's actually play around a little bit in T4. Just a little. At this point, it's just farming. And as long as I can farm pretty okay with pretty mediocre stuff, then my leveling journey's done. Mediocre being kind of like this. Speaking of which, what is my resistance at? That's actually not too terrible getting into T4. Grabbing that instance though was actually pretty important now. Oh, yep. Looks like we can. We can farm in T4 with where we're at. Oof. That wave, of course. Easy to pin. Okay. I think that is it. Let me put my my helm back into my stash though. Just apparently what I found on the leveling journey is better than the helm I have on my main character. We're definitely gonna slide this right on in her. So at least we got something really good out of it though. But cool. I think we did good though. I think conclusion though, we definitely can do a Heartseeker leveling guy. So I won't do one. I won't have it written on Maxroll like this season. I'll probably just wait till next season since let's be honest, you know, we're kind of like mid season and that people aren't really looking for leveling guys right now. But I think for season 8, I'll have a Heartseeker leveling coming up. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. I think about it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was attempting to do, and we were successful. So cool. Look forward to seeing Heartseeker leveling build next season. Now it's time for some D3. Get this album on vinyl. Oh, the off the wall. Nice. Okay, is the game gonna launch or what? Come on. There you go. Men's, what's going on? What about me? Pretty excited the fact that my Heartseeker leveling build or thing is actually was pretty successful. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to do it And so being able to like go through it and it actually works the way I intended it for it to work actually is pretty cool. Now it's time to farm some more stuff. D3. I think today would probably be the last day I farm Paragons last year. I think on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be the days that I push. So hopefully we'll find some good things today. Yeah, just a little bit more Paragon before we do the pushes. You caught the end of the run? Yeah. Yeah, we got the T4 pretty convincingly. And was able to start farming a T4 without like any big issues or anything. So that was good. I didn't need like crazy gear for it. But you definitely needed the Shard of Varathiel. Even like a shitty one that I had, which is like a really bad Shard of Varathiel, worked. Cold Clip is definitely something you kind of need to as well for smooth farming a T4. But yeah, it wasn't too crazy, but getting some of those items, especially like a shard in general or even Cold Clip in general, would probably take a little while. So I was in T3 longer than I may have wanted to be, but getting to T1 and T2 was actually super easy. Just as long as I had Moonrise and adaptability, I was Gucci. In fact, basically I had a non-ancestral weapon for T3 the entire time. When I finally got an ancestral weapon, I was able to break into T4 with Cold Clip, etc. So that was nice. Lakers won against the Nuggets. Yeah, so they can finally win the championship. That was a good time. About 2.5 minute 132, so that was actually quite nice.
My name is one of you. Let's see the gem.
I need to go back.
I guess I could start doing whatchamacallits. Empowering them now. I got so much gold. Woody made a video about D3 being better than D4. Did he really? To be fair though, I mean there's more longevity in D3 just because of the as much controversy that there is revolving around Infinite Paragon, the fact that you can continue to grind Paragon and it has meaningful impact long term. Gives something for like, you know, long term players to do. We don't really have a meaningful long term sort of game plan in Diablo 4 yet, I guess. If they ever really choose to go that route. So like for blasters or people who like to play long term, you know, D4 is kind of a hard sell past the first 2 weeks for sure. However, let's be honest though, like D3 is highly dependent on which season we get, right? I think this season for D3 is probably better than any season that Diablo 4 has put out so far. But at the same time, D3 has had 27 seasons before, you know, for this season you know, to come out. It's had considerably more time to work on its issues and problems and things, and it still has pretty big issues and problems in it, for sure. But I can arguably say that this season theme obviously is just really, really good, and it kind of really puts D3 on a pedestal that it normally wouldn't be if it wasn't for this season or a couple of seasons that are good, like Ethereals, Soul Shards. Fourth cube slot is pretty popular, but you know, you take those seasons away and you won't have many people coming back playing D4 or playing D3 in a sense. At least not as often. So I wouldn't be surprised if he enjoyed it D3 more this season than he enjoyed D4. But that wouldn't have been the case if he played last season's D3. Because if you notice, even Woody skipped quite a few D3 seasons. You've done D3 since betas and all seasons. You always continue. Yeah, for me, it'll just be dependent on the actual season theme. I'm not a fan of the environmental season themes. So like, if they throw in the snowball theme or whatever, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. You just do them that as a completionist. Fair, fair. Also, I'm curious about this roadmap that they're planning on releasing to us for D4. So at least we can have an idea of like the direction of where they're trying to take the game long term, in a sense. Maybe some of the complaints that we have are being addressed down the line, or maybe they're not. And then we're like, okay, well, maybe I need to, you know, main something else, right, in a sense. But the roadmap should give a clearer picture, hopefully. We're getting a roadmap, yeah. They'll be releasing the roadmap, quote unquote, soon. Yep. Which I think, honestly, they really should have did that in the first place. They should have They should have done that. They should have been doing that. So at least we have an idea of like whether or not people's complaints are being addressed down the line. It's just they haven't gotten to it yet or something. So it would have been nice to know like what they're actually working on. You know what I mean? So I guess now we will get to know. I have a feeling though that I think more of the core game, like next season, will have a bigger focus on around the core game stuff. Obviously, don't quote me on that. I don't have any like actual like info, but something tells me, or as what Rax would say, a little birdie, told me, or has said, or is in the wind or whatever that core game changes or maybe a big thing for the next season per se. Things they did not touch at all this season or even last season. So they already kind of mentioned part of it, how the whole like CC stuff. They don't like how CC is in the game, and so that's kind of getting a big kind of makeover for next season or whatever. Like that's pretty big. They keep overhauling the game over and over and over. No, I mean they're overhauling systems that are either that are bad or outdated. I mean, let's be honest, the loot definitely needed an overhaul, right? So they did that, and that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean there are things that just need updates that are just outdated. Like for instance, Paragon is just outdated compared to like let's say masterworking and tempering and whatnot. And masterworking could use a little bit more help too, but like Paragon versus the other things, like it definitely feels outdated. Like that needs like another big pass. Half the internal multipliers are broken, don't work, and half are broken with this OP. I want to take a new design approach to that. Oh, you mean like fixing stuff? Yeah, bug. It does. It never does cease to amaze me how many things are bugged and continue to sometimes remain bugged or new bugs. I honestly really don't know what's going on there. Like I'm sure they don't like the bugs either, but I just wonder how in terms of the code itself, like how did the code get so spaghettied, for lack of a better word. Like obviously they're having a tough time, tackling or addressing all the bugs, but why is like the big question, right? Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I feel like honestly, let's be honest, like I think kind of what Crimson Cast kind of said too as well. Reworks the mechanics are normal on last servers. Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing about it is it's something I said last stream. Like Diablo 4 is really not the only one here, right? That we kind of pick on for being in certain states, like we've had states where the game was bad, and then we had states where when the game was good. Season 4, season 5, I think we're probably peak Diablo 4 in my opinion. And then but like I feel like action RPGs in general seem to struggle with this. Like there hasn't really been a single action RPG that I know of that has released in like a really good state at the start. Like it took a while. It took, you know, maybe a year or two, yearish or 2 years plus, or an expansion or the following expansion before the game was actually considered good. For instance, Diablo 2 kind of had a similar path, right? It released, you know, pretty poorly. You know, it wasn't until Lord of what is it? Lord of Destruction, I believe. Expansion, when the game actually started, like, you know, becoming the legend that it is today. And then even then, it took a little while after that before it kind of got to the state where everyone's like, yo, this is like the thing, right? It took a while. D3, same thing. You know, it released unfavorably, to put it lightly. And then Reaper of Souls, for the most part, saved the game, kind of. But then it also has some few hiccups at the beginning of Reaper of Souls. Then it got a brand new team to take over for continuing to add updates to the game before the company gave up on it completely. And then now the game is like in a considerably better state than it was like 5 years ago. So it took Diablo 3 like 4 to 5, almost 6 years before it was like, you know, getting on the path of becoming like good. Even Path of Exile 1 released in a pretty, you know, pretty bad state as well. Kind of unfinished as well. Almost no content really. It's crazy to say that now when you look at Path of Exile, but like at the beginning, it really didn't have much going for it, other than the fact that it was the closest thing to D2, and people kind of stuck around because of that factor, right? Nowadays, obviously, Path of Exile has tons of content, and people love it, but it took a while. It took a while for it to get there, you know. So like, and you know, it's just, you know, Last Epoch is kind of following that same trend right now. D4, as you see, is definitely following that trend again. It's like I don't think we really had, we can't really get a action RPG to release mostly complete nowadays, or period. It seems like it just takes a while. It has to mature apparently. You know, and maybe D4 will get there eventually, just like D3 got there eventually, just like D2 got there eventually. Path of Exile 2 will get there eventually as well. Last Epoch probably will get there eventually too. Some of the bugs might just take so much work to fix that they're not worth the time to fix. So I guess at this point, you might as well scrap D4 and start making D5 under a different engine with different coding, so you can actually fix the bugs and move on. I'm just saying. I mean, if that's the case. Like it's action RPG though, basically every game these days, very few releases when they fix it, get some time for the next game to launch. Yeah, that's true too, I guess. Yeah. I just kind of want to throw it out there, like, you know, I think D4 is really not the only example of this kind of happening, right? It's just one of the more prominent examples because it's, you know, it's a major franchise, right? Diablo's a major franchise, so it's easy to, you know, it's just gonna have a lot of attention thrown at it, right? Because it's Diablo. Ironically, it would be interesting to see Diablo arrive before 2027. Well, with the next expansion already in production, from what they've stated, in 2026. Yeah, I guess 2027. Yeah, maybe. It actually might make more sense at this point, though, to be honest. Like, instead of kind of releasing expansion after expansion after expansion for D4, you might want to I mean, if you can have a better internal development this time around, then it might be better to just to go ahead and kind of like get D5 rolling. Because D3 and D4 have had really bad development cycles for the most part. They were pretty awful. Or lots of crap went down that really made things very difficult. So you don't think it'd be better to develop first person view D5? Scrap that in 4 years and then transition to isometric in the same range. Oh man. D4's development cycle has been plagued by really bad leadership for most of its cycle. The only time they actually had good leadership was the last year and a half, which was a year and a half before the game released. So imagine having like, you know, people being real pissed off and not wanting to work on the game and having so many things change back and forth and people like the morale being incredibly low for years, then having COVID, you know, literally happen in the middle of your development cycle after trying a, you know, Dark Souls approach to the game that you end up scrapping and then at the last minute decided to do isometric, right? And then only the last year and a half did people have any sort of morale in terms of wanting to, you know, work on the game or do anything positive for the game. And then the game has to release. Yeah. It's just so out of the 7.5 years of development, only a year and a half was like, you know, I won't say worthwhile. That isn't the right word to use, but only the last year and a half was the game, you know, or the team or the ideas or whatever was kind of like, okay, we can actually release this, but they couldn't put their own ideas in it because, you know, the last year and a half is polish and as many bug fixes as you possibly can to get ready for a release. So you have to roll with all the bad ideas that has came across the 6 years prior to that new leadership team, right? So, which is why we got a whole, you know, loot rework in season 4 because, well, they couldn't do it before launch. To be honest with you, though, I actually wouldn't mind them actually like doing like a bigger shakeup in terms of like it not being an isometric action RPG. Like if they wanted to do the over the shoulder style or like that, I would have been okay with that. Like if they want to take like a, you know, take a risk. My assumption though is that like a over the over the shoulder style, like third person over the shoulder style, like action RPG, it will probably like feel and play more like Hellgate London for those who remember like that game before it had its, you know, disastrous launch. But the gameplay was actually kind of fun. But I can imagine playing something like Hellgate London. KDM, what's going on? That was two pretty bad back-to-back runs. Work, always work.
I am returning.
You consider applying to work on D4, but the amount of technical debt and the nature of public disclosures about the game's development have warded me out something. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. Also, with it being a much bigger company, obviously, like you said, the whole like, you know, like your entire team is basically at the mercy of shareholders and kind of where they pretty much want the game to go. Well, the shareholders don't really have like a say, but like, you know, obviously, like with the idea of money being at the forefront, obviously, it's going to make the people who are in charge of making the shareholders happy, make some interesting decisions that the developers may or may not really want to do. But, you know, nowadays that is what it is. It's just when can you strafe with the mace? If that's the case, let me cast spells with the plunger, right? Allies with the chainsaw. Oh man, what up, Arian?
My pack is full.
Shout out to CPU now. I just called the 20 SPS I got from the Rams. Good timing. I mean, you're sitting there reaching what? Like over 200 FPS, right? I mean, I think you're good to go, sir. I think you're good to go, Craft. Unless you just, you know. Imagine loving D4 and trying to improve it because you love it and want people to enjoy it. So you work on design, which powers in a public response is so frustrated about the rest of the state of the game that all you see on Twitter, Twitch, Twitter, Reddit is anger in response to the season release. Yeah. It's the thing is too is that like those who are, you know, making statements, whether or not valid or invalid, right, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, are going to be mostly the minority, like the louder minority. The game itself, as in most action RPGs, actually have a much bigger player base than what you'd believe if you were to listen to or watch comments on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube or whatever. So like those who are having, you know, who are not enjoying themselves are usually the not casuals per se, right? The people who do play for, you know, maybe like several hours a week, you know, maybe 10 plus hours a week or whatever, right? But like your average casual that might play like 1 or 2 hours a week are actually still really enjoying themselves, right? So the overall sentiment just, you know, gets very skewed because the people who are enjoying themselves aren't the ones making YouTube videos or hanging out on Twitch or Reddit or whatever. They're simply just playing the game because that's all they have time to do. They don't have time to fuss and complain, because if they only have like an hour and a half a week to play, you think they're going to spend that hour and a half like, you know, replying to people on Reddit? Probably not. But with that being said though, I do get what you're saying though. Crimson Cast, yeah. I do feel like in today's time, I don't think there really is much that they can really do at the moment that's going to like please or ease over the vocal minority. I'll put it that way. And sometimes I'm saying sometimes, but there are times where they actually do what the player asks, right? And then people get upset that thing was done, even though they asked for that very said thing. You know, there was complaints about, oh, it's taking too long to get to level 100, right? Remember that? You know, season 0, and then, you know, season 1 is like, oh man, it takes forever to get to 100. Now those same players are like, oh, I get to T4 too easily, right? Or I level way too quick. There are people that were upset about Lilith being as hard as she was, and now the same thing is like, I have nothing else left to do in the game. There's no challenging thing in the game left. But those same people were complaining about how hard Lilith was. You know, it's like you can't really. Sometimes I'm not, you know, siding with the devs all the time, obviously, but sometimes, you know, they can't win for losing. Which is why I firmly believe they should have had like their own philosophy that they would have stuck to, and just kind of like see the game out from that vision, versus trying to bend to, you know, a set of player base's will. Honestly, I don't think that the problem was Lilith that was too hard. I actually enjoyed the Lilith fight a lot. I don't think the problem getting to level 100 was too long. I don't think any of those were actual problems. I think if there was anything, problem was just the fact that the game was just unfinished. Like, you wasn't motivated enough to get to 100 because of the content you were playing and was sorely lacking. It wasn't how long it took to get to 100. The fact that you didn't want to grind Nightmare Dungeons the entire time to get to 100, and that was an issue. So I don't think that the long-term grind or the longevity grind was the issue. It's just having more things to do on the way to 100 would have been just fine. You know? But they kind of gutted a little bit of their own philosophy to kind of please, you know, the, you know, trying to appease the, what seems to be the popular opinion at the time. And now it looks like they're kind of lost in their own way, because you kind of don't really know what they want to do. Like, you look at how things are going right now, like, you don't really know what direction they're really wanting to go with the game currently. Like, it just feels scattered, almost kind of random. Like, I have no idea what to expect from season 8, because season 7 isn't really setting me up to lead into, oh, well, this is where they're trying to go with the game. Like, I don't know. Right? Do I think some of the new toys were great? Yeah. I actually think the season thing was actually kind of cool. But you look at the core base game and the fact that there was like nothing that they touched there, it's kind of hard to know, okay, what do you really want to do for the game going forward? Like, what's the direction? Which is why I think having a roadmap would be very nice. Like, when they actually like release the roadmap and we can kind of see what they're trying to do, that'd be great to know. Die exposed. I'm just telling it like it is. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy like the first 2 weeks of each season. I mean, I do have fun putting together builds or whatnot. But I also understand that, like, you know, yeah, I just, yeah. It is really easy for streamers and content creators to forget that they have 12 hours a day they put into the game, and the average player can barely do that in a week. Yeah, which is why, you know, like, very much so, which is why, our perspectives is, you know, is practically the 1%. Right, like we're pretty much like the extremely small example. It's actually, I don't know how much I can really say about this. I guess I think I can say this much. That's why I like in the Diablo partner program or whatnot. There's a range of individuals. It's not just the popular streamers or streamers with the X amount of view counts or whatever, or videos or subs on their YouTube or whatever. Like, it's a wide range of individuals to give feedback and to kind of like, be ambassadors and, get feedback based on what their communities are seeing, right? If it was just nothing but, the elite players, quote unquote, I guess, the blasters just giving feedback and opinions, it would be kind of a bad thing. Because you only have one perspective from a very, very small portion of the player base, right? Which is why usually, like, I like to hear from, other partners who aren't the ones that are blasting, like, insane hours a day. Because it's cool to kind of see where they are, like what they think of the game and how they play the game. In terms of what they think, and also what their communities think. Because of course, if they're more casual, then the communities will also be, most likely more casual as well. So you get a different view. Demonic Hellfire. Yep. Haven't played D3 in years, so it's too late to play this season. Nope. It started, the season started about 3 weeks ago, so there's plenty of time left. I started like a week ago. So I'm trying to get back into it myself. Yeah, but I'll be done with it in about maybe 3 or 4 days, because once I get my 150s, I'll be preparing for Monster Hunter Wild's release. That's going to be a big thing for me. But this is a really cool season theme though for Diablo 3 though, so. The D4 eventually, we'll get there eventually, just needs more time. Yeah, it does. It's playing from behind. The game released unfinished. It's like a lot of games nowadays do unfinished. It released unfinished. It's pretty much playing catch up. And then once it does kind of catch up or whatever, then we'll kind of have more of the, sort of longer term stuff that we don't have currently for the, much smaller portion of player base to do. I think at the moment they're just really just trying to get the game up to speed, up to where, acceptable state, I guess you could say. A part of me thinks that we'll kind of see that, like, we'll truly see that probably in like the next expansion. I don't know why I think of it that way, but that's kind of where I'm. It's kind of my thoughts is like the next expansion would be like the major thing. Maybe before then, who knows? But I'm calling it next expansion.
I can't carry anymore.
Are you ready? What? I didn't
I
even
cannot
know I
afford
had
that.
thing.
Although I will say, I mean, they have surprised us with loot rework in season 4, which they really weren't planning. I won't say they weren't planning on doing, but I don't think they really wanted to do that or have to do that. But of course they did, which I think pushed back the first expansion, which also pushed back the second expansion. Because technically speaking, we were supposed to have the first expansion out sooner than we did. So actually, it wasn't supposed to release in October. It was actually supposed to like release earlier than October last year. But some of the fixes they chose to do earlier on, to fix the game or make the game better. They chose to do that, but it definitely delayed that expansion as well as the second expansion coming up. So you never know. Like they might surprise us with one like ridiculously like overhaul of a season, and then we're like, oh, okay, this is really good job kind of thing. Oh, freaking Dune Dervishes. What I kill them all? You said what I'm out to? Nothing really. This is my, I guess, final night of grind before I start doing my pushes next week. But I switched to fire for farming, or back to fire for farming. I feel like it fits the way I tend to play Impales a little bit better, since I tend to stay back and whatnot. I'm not like flying through the mobs or whatever. I think fire makes more sense for what I'm trying to do, or how I'm playing.
Need more.
I am skilled at clarifying gems.
I need to go back.
You said proper leaderboard by next expansion. Well, yeah, assuming that there's either a new game mode or a rehashed or a revamped game mode that's worth tacking the leaderboard onto. That's kind of the big thing. Can I show my setup, please? I actually have a video on this from when this came out the first time. Literally nothing has changed since then. But I don't have like a planner. I haven't made one just because I wasn't gonna play this long, or I wasn't gonna play long this season. But I mean, I can show the gear and stuff after this run if you just kind of want to take a look. don't know why I grabbed that for.
I am skilled at clarifying drill.
125, so we'll do some more. Actually, let's get this one to 125.
I am returning to town.
Xantos, what's up? You still there?
You have become more formidable.
Okay. I can find that link real quick. Popular videos. No, it's not under there. Okay, so that's the video. So check that out in a minute, but I'm gonna quickly kind of go through what I got here. But most of this is mostly traditional 5-piece shadow, Captain Crimson. Captain Crimson once you get to like 2K Paragon or whatever, but until then you could use the Guardian set, which is really good. But I prefer Captain Crimson once you get to a certain point because you need the cooldown reduction. Although Guardians would be a little tankier. The only thing about this setup though that or a few things about the set that'll be a little bit different is one, you're not running Gizzard, so you have to kind of play a little bit further back to kind of keep up your scourge buff. But if you do, you hit like a truck. Two, also as you see, Echoing Fury instead of like NGM or like Carlisle's Point. And the reason why I choose the Echoing Fury is because the movement speed and the attack speed. I know attack speed probably sounds a little bit weird to talk about when it comes to strafing, but the movement speed is actually pretty decent, which means I don't have to run tactical advantage or give up a passive just to be able to get like more movement speed. Echoing Fury gives me a lot of that already. So I can just go more DPS, Call the Weak, Steady Aim, Ambush, Throw the Hunt for the slow to proc your Bang of the Trap gem. Yeah, full damage basically. And so you can go either fire or lightning. It's completely up to you. So if you want to do chemical burn, you can. But if you want to do ricochet, you can. They're both good. I've been preferring fire more so in the recent. But either or works. The biggest downside I will say to this, to doing it this way, is that you have downtime on Vengeance because you're running Echoing Fury and you have to put Carlisle's Point in a cube, so you don't have a Dawn. So that's what Captain Crimson is for, to kind of help you get a little bit more cooldown reduction. So having cooldown reduction on your glove and shoulders is really nice, but you do have some downtime on your Vengeance. And when that happens, you have to be kind of careful because you can take a lot of damage in that time. I would suggest you go diamonds in your gear. I just went Dex Gems. I haven't changed it to diamonds, and I probably won't until I push. But yeah, so you got Carlisle's Point, Mental Channeling, Warrior Ring of Grandeur, and it's actually pretty decent. I will say, so far, when I was like leveling up a gym, I was trying to level up my Stricken for my UE setup or whatever. But the best I've done so far is like a 3.5 minute 135 with this. Obviously, that's map dependent and of course pylon dependent or whatever. So, but was pretty dope that I was able to get a GR that high that fast on this. Oof. But in terms of playstyle is concerned, you definitely don't want to like run through things, especially if you're playing fire. You actually want to kind of chill a little further back and like manually cast some impales every now and then too to get a little bit more impales per second, so you don't lose your squares buff. This allows you to kind of farm a little bit higher. Now if you have a shield pylon, that it doesn't matter at that point. You do whatever, but yeah. Just throw the hunt proc trap, yes. And call the week. Yeah, man, you're welcome. I remember your name. I think I've seen you around before some time ago. I see you go a bit heavier on a D3 as opposed to D4. The main difference is the gameplay between the two games for you. Honestly, there's actually quite a few similarities, but the biggest things is more so D3 is a simpler game for sure. But the focus on D3, like it's simpler, more streamlined. So it technically has less depth than D4. Ironically enough, though, the long-term playability is better in D3 because there is an actual leaderboard and there is Paragon grinding. Paragon grinding, which is not technically endless, but it's so high. Like the cap is so high, you would never reach it at any season at all. You show the artist that. Okay, yeah, okay. I was like, I remember your name for sure. So I enjoy the games. I enjoy both games for different reasons, but I also have this, different criticisms for both games as well. But this is but this season, this Diablo 3 season is pretty nice. Probably one of the more popular season themes that Diablo 3 has ever had. So that's actually kind of why you saw people kind of come back and play for at least about a week or two, roughly.
My pack is full.
But next week you'll see me start pushing leaderboard stuff. I don't say leaderboard, just GR 150. I don't really care about the leaderboard at this point. But GR 150. Or getting a GR 150 on 2 sets that I want to play. I think it'd be harder for me to do it on Strafe and Pale. It'll be easier for me to do it on UE multi-shot, but I'm gonna do it on both. Or try to do it on both next week. For push to play Donna Cube. Yeah, I go with the regular Scarlat's point and then do Donna Cube because I can't really kill fast enough to kind of keep up the benefits of Echoing Fury when I'm pushing. So, although I'm gonna try though, I'm gonna try with Echoing Fury first and then do like a on the way with fire push or whatever with Echoing Fury to kind of see where that lands me. I'm thinking is going to be a bad idea, like a really bad idea, but I'm gonna try it anyways. But most likely I'll probably just end up doing Car last point. Hell, who knows? I might even try to do Sunkeeper. Nah, I don't think I'd be that bold. Like I think I can do a 145 with Echoing Fury pretty easily and convincingly, like almost all the time. Like I can like probably key in like almost any 145 and probably take it down with Echoing Fury. The 150 though, definitely not. That's not the case. Yeah, my rule is basically this. This is how I know like how my GR clears, like, you know, like I guess what level of GR clear can I do without, you know, with proper fishing, of course. So whatever GR that I can do consistently in 5 minutes, add 15 GRs to that, and that's like where I should be able to do with decent fishing, or even higher if I like, you know, fish like really hard. So for example, I've done a 135 in about 3.5 minutes on this Impale build, but obviously that's not every time. That was one time. Most of the times it took me about like 4.5 minutes or whatever. So if I can do that in about under or at 5 minutes at 15 GRs to that 135, and then you get the 150, right? So that's how I know it's possible. But I think the bigger thing will be is, can I survive? I think is probably going to be the thought, because Impale is really squishy at the top end. So I don't think damage is really going to be too much of the issue. It's going to be more so, can I survive? And that's like, if that's the case, how much offense do I have to sacrifice to be able to survive in the 150 while still being able to do the 150? That's the challenging part. Obviously I could solve that problem just by having more Paragon, but I'm not about to farm into the 3Ks or whatever Paragon to do that. So I'm gonna roll with about what, 2200 Paragon, maybe somewhere around that range. Right now, I'm more concerned about just getting the items I need. So I know I don't have everything I need yet. I still don't have a restraint, an ancient restraint. I still need a good UE chest, a good UE helm. I haven't had my squares up almost this entire exchange on this map, because I've been kind of like strafing through rather than kind of staying back a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Oculus circles. gonna recipe to a restraint. I'm hoping I don't have to do that because there are other recipes I kind of want to use for different things. Not recipes, sorry. There are other items I want to do that on. I feel like I think it's hard to kind of get a good one from reforging, honestly. So, like, it's easier to get like a decent ancient reforging, like, you know, chest, helm, or whatever like that. I think that's a little easier. Also, same thing with the glove. But rings, rings can be a little rough. Yeah, I'd have to farm hella mats for that. So if I'm having to farm like a bunch of bounty mats, then I might as well be just do GRs and hope that I might get a drop as well as get Paragon at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm kind of hoping it happens via GRs. But we'll see. Appreciate the follow. Ow. It's funny, channeling pylon is like one of the things it's like one of my favorite pylons for this setup. It goes, what's the order I prefer for speeds? Power, channeling, shield, speed. So I have conduit in fourth for speeds in terms of like what I prefer to have. Do I have a Maxroll page? I don't have a planner now. But I can kind of hover over my stuff real quick if you would like. So Echoing Fury, Focus, Bottega, Restraint, Zaze. Definitely need a new restraint as you guys see. Squirt's Necklace with Band the Trapped. In your traditional 5-piece shadow. So shadow here, shadow here, shadow here, shadow here, also shadow here. So your typical impale things you would want. Then Captain Crimson's belt, Captain Crimson's boots, Holy Point shot, standard stuff you would want in a Holy Point shot. And of course, Wraps of Clarity. In terms of the cube, there's a Carlisle's Point, Mantle of Channeling, Oil Ring. And then for skills, you can do Chemical Burn or Ricochet. Doesn't really matter which one. Ricochet, you kind of want to play through the mobs, whereas Chemical Burns, you want to play a little bit further back. And try to keep up the squares buff. So playstyle's a little different, but both give you good results. Go Drift and Shadow for your strafe. Shadow Glide, obviously for your impale set bonus stuff from this 4-piece. Bolas for the freeze, and also the proc the focus part of the restraint part of focus and restraint. Vengeance obviously for Dark Dark Heart, damage reduction and more damage, and then Wolf for damage. Then I go all DPS passives here: Cold Away, Steady Aim, Ambush, and then I do Throw the Hunt to be able to get a slow, so I can activate Cold of the Week and Bane of the Trap. Oh, and of course the Take the 5 power is going to obviously be the Strafe one. So Strafe now casts the last non-channeled hatred spending ability cast. No smoke screen. I don't need it. If I do smoke screen, I have to give up damage, and I don't want to give up damage. To move faster, that's what Echoing Fury is for.
You look like you could use a new item of Z soon. What? I didn't even
can't
know
carry
I had
anymore.
that thing. Fortune favors, but that will look nice on you. Can't win every time. You look like you could use Don't forget. Luck always changes.
Which one has more damage, Echoing Fury or NGM? Echoing Fury, but it's also harder to play. It's not necessarily a Netflix and, you know, GR type build. You have to like pay more attention because you're not gonna have like perma vengeance or whatever. But if you notice, my movement speed isn't bad, right? Like it's actually kind of decent for strafing through. I also get this strafe weave, so I get to cast more impales per second because I can just cast impale manually as well, along with the regular strafed impales, which gives me more impales, which in turn give me more damage overall. But this is like what you would consider more of a try-hard setup, which is why you don't see a lot of people actually play it. Because not many people kind of want to, quote-unquote, try hard for speed farming. You know what I mean? Even if it is a stronger route. Losing damage because it's 40% multi. No, you still have vengeance. You just don't have it up permanently. So you're not losing 40%. So like, because I have Captain Crimson, my vengeance is up 2/3 of the time. So you gotta think about the fact that like, so you're losing about 10% damage by not having perma vengeance with Echoing Fury. And you make that up with Echoing Fury literally being a stronger weapon than NGM. Like, Echoing Fury has a higher base damage than NGM does. Like, maces have higher base damage than swords. So you make that damage up literally just by hitting harder. And you don't need tactical advantage because you have the speed from Echoing Fury, so that means you can put more DPS passives as well. And you don't need smoke screen, so I can throw in Wolf. Also more damage. That's why this is, you know, I was saying before, this is a higher damaging setup, but for the 33% of the time that Vengeance is down, you are very glassy. And you just have to kind of be like, Yeah, I mean, you don't. I wouldn't do this for hardcore, no. But I'm just saying, just in general. Like if you play well, this is going to yield better results, obviously. Yeah, if I was doing hardcore, I'd probably do NGM, to be honest, and of course awareness somewhere, because you're never gonna not want to have that, right? It's 25% movement speed. It's actually a little bit more than that, but there is diminishing returns on movement speed, so it's kind of hard to like truly calculate that. I actually forgot what the actual value ends up being. I really hate keeps with a passion. It's gonna be a longer run. Oops. Oops. Which impale am I using? Currently chemical burn, but I've been back and forth between chemical burn with fire and lightning. I ended up settling with fire, but I think I've played most of it with lightning so far. Lightning and blade is better for speeds. So I've been told. I've done fire in like season 27. And I mean, honestly, it just depends on playstyle. I think if you're doing if you're running Echoing Fury and you're playing a little bit further behind, you can do higher GR speeds. Like you don't clear as quickly in terms of like the trash mobs, because obviously you're, you know, the fire kind of has to stack or whatever, but you absolutely demolish the elites. And considering that we have the altar now with the extra orb, being able to kill the elites, you know, considerably quicker, kind of makes up for the fact that you're not killing trash as efficiently. But you keep up your squirts and stuff like that, then you're fine. So it's kind of a hit or miss. If you've seen any of my previous streams other than today or yesterday, you'll see the difference between me playing lightning and me playing fire. And it really is at that point just really a preference. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be, your average speeds is basically gonna be determined about on what map you get. At the end of the day, you get keeps, it's just gonna be bad no matter what. You get an open map, you know, you'll look good no matter what. I mean, it's good build, but definitely one target fire for better. Yeah, but I'm doing fire right now. Does it look like I'm struggling killing multiple targets with fire? Like on the 130s at that, and I'm not even fully augmented. Like, does it look like I'm only killing one target at a time for like 3 seconds or so? Like you're shooting so many impales that, and typically speaking, if you spread out your impales, technically you want to hit 3 targets, so you don't want to shotgun with fire like you do with lightning or whatever. you actually want to hit 3 separate targets. That's why I said it comes down to the play style. I know you don't see people play fire, so you're not aware, but like, yeah, it comes down to the play style. That's why you kind of see me stay back and kill everything along the way, because as long as I'm, you know, have a pretty decent amount of squares up, everything just melts, including elites. Shielding, really? Now the thing is that I wouldn't do fire if it wasn't for strafe impale. Like if it was like normal impale or whatever, like if you're speed farming with normal impale, I would definitely do lightning, because you just don't shoot enough impales to make fire worth it. But with the amount of shots and strafe weaving, especially strafe weaving, the amount of impales you're getting per second, makes up for the fact that like I don't have as much AoE. I'm just firing so many impales a second. Also too as well, I'm like really pushing the boundaries here. I probably really should be doing like 128s, to be honest with you. But like if things are like a little too easy, I get a little bored. So I kind of like the 130 because I have to try just enough. Just enough to keep my squares up so I'm not like falling asleep while farming. Unlike most people, I like being active per se. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get bored. Hence why I still run Dexagens. Even though like literally I can get one shot at like any time when Vengeance is down. You imagine, oh whoops. Wasn't even looking. Imagine pushing, you play lightning? No. Lightning is actually the worst for pushing. Because you only hit 9 targets. Ironically enough, like I'm saying ironically enough, actually fire is the second best for pushing. Cold is the best for pushing. Cold requires a much better map though. I think you can get close to what cold can get for the most part. I'll say maybe 2 or 3 GRs off, at least from my experiences of doing both pushing in the past. But fire requires a lot less keys to get a decent clear. But you have to play it way different. Like you can't, like with cold, you have to pull the entire map like you do with UE. The fire, you actually want to kill everything along the way, and you don't want to gain density. In fact, if you get too many elites together, you might as well like leave and retry again on fire. Whereas with cold, if you don't get 2 or 3 or 4 elites on the map, in the open map, then you want to try again. So it's like completely different. Yeah, it's different. It's a whole different play style. So we'll see. I'm gonna actually try pushing with fire first. And if I just don't have enough raw damage to do it, killing along the way, then I'm gonna switch to cold for the 150 pushing. Do I do Zays for pushing? Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, you need the damage. An Impale single target is good enough to where you don't need, like, Stricken, so... Dream is bad for fire. I really think, honestly, the open maps aren't really that great for fire, for pushing, honestly. You actually do want the hallway maps, as weird as that sounds. I think that's kind of why it intrigues me a lot, because it's very rare that you push in a different way than trying to get Fields of Misery, right? Or Festering Woods or Battlefields, right? Like, it gives it like a different push dynamic that you normally don't really see. But it is possible to play Dream with fire, but you have to like purposely not, you know, aggro everything. So you have to be very, very careful with how you play it. And you want things like Hulks and stuff. You want like the chunky mob type, or whatnot. Hulk oh yeah, Hulk Slasher is good too as well. Yeah. Forgot the names of some of the mob types. It's been a while since I've played. But yeah, chunkier mob types for sure. Chunkier, less dense mob types, because you kill them so fast. So like you're getting, well, you kill them pretty fast, so you're getting, you know, a decent amount of XP on the way. Dark Knight, not Dark Knight. I forgot the name of they're called too, but Dark somethings. Yeah, you want those two. The Executioners, I guess you can call them that if you want. They're really good for it. Peeps. I didn't see that explosion. The last explosion.
Need more time.
Or Valsparn is good too. I mean, they're okay. I mean, they're a lot better for like the pull the whole map builds, obviously. But for fire, it's okay. They're better mob types than than Val Swarms for fire. You could play Boris Pad as well. Yeah, I can, but again, I am particularly a glass cannon player. So if I die and it's because of a mistake I made, then I'm just going to, you know, play better. But if I'm dying because of things I can't control, then I will add more defense. But I would rather just play better first and just do that route. But yes, could do board. But I'll take the DPS from Wolf a little bit that it does give. Like that explosion I died to, I could have literally prevented that by playing better. I would never go, maybe I should put on awareness for an explosion I could have dodged myself. Oof. That hurt. I missed my bowler right there. I could have froze him. Stop him from casting. See.
I wish I could do that.
Good to see you.
I am returning to town.
Can I get it? Got it. Okay. I would love a better quiver though. That 81% bugs me. Yeah, but before I do a push, I'll try to edge out better gear with the reforging, I guess.
Fortune favors. See you soon. See you soon.
I can't carry anymore.
You look like ooh, that's nice. Can I have it back? Fortune favors. Well, it's a good paperweight.
I cannot afford that.
I'm gonna go back to 130. I went the wrong way. What's the name of the song? Ice Cube, Check Yourself. Old school song. Oh, I lost my squares before I picked up the shield pylon. Psychedelic guys, what's going on? Wasn't too terrible, but still. First map was kind of horrid.
I am returning to town.
That not taking shield what I had full score is actually like added on 10 seconds more than it should have taken. Okay, I got hit right there. Channeling. Second favorite pylon for speeds. It's like, should I stay on this map or nah? Gonna end up backtracking. Or maybe I can get, yeah, no, I have enough. Spawn a Rift Guardian on this floor. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a good decision. Under 2 minute 130 because of the map. Team Rash playing this Viper Stray Shadow build and it looked fun. Talking about for Activates that one. Am I using Enchantress with token? She cannot die. Yeah, actually, I really need to fix her up because I literally don't have like I haven't maxed out her intel at all. So like literally, I'm missing like another basically 5% cooldown reduction. I guess been too lazy to do anything about it. I'll fix it when I fish or when I push. But yeah, I just gotta make me a witch doctor or a wizard or whatever and just roll her gear. I've been like super lazy. Although I think for speeds, you know, I probably could get away with the all skills or whatever. If I like build her correctly, of course. But I figure I'm not gonna be playing, you know, the game that long. And so as long as I get her, you know, get her int right or whatever for the pushes, we'll be alright. Like if I was playing this as my main game, yeah, I would have had my enchantress like, you know, properly geared by now. Esoteric mutilation, yep. So the only thing I will say I like and dislike about Echoing Fury, I like the idea that like I can fear them quite often, which means that they don't attack as much, which means it makes it easier to keep a scorch buff. The problem is there are certain maps where you can fear like ghosts off a cliff and you can't hit them because you fear them away. And that becomes hella annoying. Or you fear them into another room sometimes. So it has benefits, and then it also has some definite drawbacks sometimes where you're just like, God dang it. But yes, it kind of reminded me of playing Rogue using Puncture TB style. I was watching a little bit. Some people play some Path of Exile. It's seemingly like people tend to like the new event. I haven't heard anything bad about it yet. So it seems like people are having fun, which I'm happy about. I'm happy that after, you know, the news and, you know, January or mid to end of January, I'm happy that, you know, they got something going for the community. Yeah, I never like PoE but one, but I'm actually enjoying it. I wish I could like hop on the PoE one, man, but like there's nothing that they can do that's gonna make me enjoy PoE one, unfortunately. Because PoE 1, like the issue I have with PoE 1 isn't the systems or the amount of things they add to the game. My issue is the combat. And that's a coding thing. And they're never gonna, they can't overhaul that. The gameplay film. So like, I just would never, like I like PoE 2. The combat in PoE 2, but I did not like it at all in PoE 1. So unless there's an event where they literally overhaul the combat system, I just can never jump into it.
I cannot afford that.
Wait. Oh, okay. I wasted a lot of time going north. Haven't heard this song in a while. Don't get hit. I was about to say, I'm like, come on, spawn a Rift Guardian, please. Banger? Oh, yeah.
I'm skilled at clarifying gems.
I need to go back.
Oops. Or not too fast.
I am returning to town.
Yeah, the idols are another RNG factor. If you know how hard it is to get the correct fixes for your map, and then you spend mirrors buying them. And mirrors themselves are already really rare. Eek. I wasn't paying attention. That hurt. Almost died to that.
You won't survive that.
for fire's attack speed. Yeah, so I mean, you don't want to get extra like attack speed. Nah. The fact that Echoing Fury kind of comes with a lot of attack speed, I mean, it doesn't help you in the sense of like just more natural damage or anything. But what it does do is that if you're someone who likes to strafe weave like I do, like you see me cast manual impales as well, it makes it buttery smooth because you're not like stuck in the animation casting it. That's why you see me casting like, you know, the impales quite a bit. But if you notice, like I don't like my character isn't stopped for a while. Like it just looks very smooth. That's because of all the attack speed from the Echoing Fury. But don't go out of your way to get attack speed. Like you don't need to do that. Especially if you're someone who doesn't really like the strafe weave at all. Zoki, what's going on? How's the season? Well, it is Sanctified Powers, so. Or Angelic Crucibles, whatever you want to call them. It's a great D3 season. You said you and Machine are battling for first. I think you told me that a couple of days ago. So, are you winning right now, Killamon? Speaking of which, I do want to try something though. I want to see where because I don't have a good restraint yet, and it's not augmented, and I can use some better pieces, but I don't want to see where my raw damage is. I might key in the 145 and see like how that feels. And I'm gonna try to do it with Dex gems in my gear, which is suicide. It means I'm gonna die a lot. But hopefully maybe I can stay far back enough to where I don't die too often to where I fail. Machine is busy cheering for Bronny. Like, I think the 45 will be cutting it, or 145 will be cutting it close. Depend on the mob type.
Fortune favors the bold. That will look nice on you. Well,
My
isn't
pack is
that
full.
nice? You look like you could. I didn't even know I had that thing. Fortune favors. Ooh, that's nice. Can I have it back?
Get the shot leaderboard and run it as a 150 100 F4 300 Paragon. Yeah, you said that a little while up. Ronan likes Ronan plays the builds that he likes, so you'll see him do UE and then you'll see him do I think Shadow, and then that's kind of it. A lot where was going on. Yeah. All right. Let's actually we'll do that. I'm not gonna change anything. I'm literally just go in as is. See how I feel about this. Okay. I'm not gonna do keep though. That's the one thing I'm not gonna do. All right. Yeah. I'm not killing fast enough for it with Echoing Fury though. Oh no, this is not too bad. Okay, I did not see that thing. That mortar. Where'd that come from? Ow. Dark Berserker mob type though. This is a good mob type for this. I lost my scores though. Ghosts, that's why. Phantoms. Waller is not good. Hold up. We got a conduit. We take those early on this setup. Oh yeah, I'm still really squishy. I can't even get tapped by that, like even a little bit. So I can't run through that without dying. Stay back. Get the Oculus. Oh, there was no way that hit me. Yeah, that was lag. How did I die all over here and the thing like it didn't hit me there? That's so messed up. Well, obviously I can't do dex gems with this going forward past the 145. See right there. That did not hit me. That did not hit me. That's the second time like there was like some desync. the server and like where my character actually was. That fix is literally death for me. Yeah. I can't take the whatchamacallit. I had to backtrack way too far. Today's election in Germany is here today. Oof.
No, I will not.
I got really unlucky with those affixes on this yellow. I can still do this though, despite all the deaths that I had. Oh, it's a Juggernaut too. That's why it's lasting so long. I'm like, dude, this thing is tanky. Ugh. Still a little bit ahead. That's fine. All the pylons are actually pretty good, honestly. Speed being the worst, obviously, but like everyone is good. Like shield, power, conduit, channeling's good. There's a shielding right there, so that's really good. It's gonna allow me to kind of skip, so I'm just gonna focus on elites now. Kind of look at the extra globe, but there's way too many minions. Wow, illusionist. The worst affix for this. Might be hitting the right one. Yeah, I was. Okay. I would try to see if I can hit up another elite, but I'm gonna round a shield before I get there. So I'm gonna try to just give it what I got. Trying to get a better positioning. There we go. Ow. Still got squirced up. I could probably still get like another glow from him. There we go. Okay. Rift Guardian won't take long, just as long as I don't get one that has any unavoidable damage. This should be a clear. She kind of didn't want to fight an elite right here. Knew it. Yeah, there's no way around it. I have to fight him. At least spawn a Rift Guardian though. I won't have like another shot at a pylon or anything though. That's the only thing. Don't get too close because I don't want to die. Yeah. Okay. Edges is up. I think I might can take a chance of getting a little closer. No. Nope, nope, not that. Barely survived that. But he's dead though, I think. Come on, die, die. Alright, who's the Rift Guardian? Brian. I moved the wrong direction. That might have cost me. Maybe, we'll see. It's still possible, still doable. Okay, I can't see him. Got him. Okay. That was close. Lots of things went wrong. But, alright. Yeah, I definitely won't go any higher with Dex gems. I'll tell you that much.
I am returning to town.
Shiki, what's going on? I haven't seen Shiki in the wild. How you been? Oh man, that was stressful. But yeah, I'll have to go with like regular Carlisle's point though. Still, obviously I wouldn't do Echoing Fury past that point, but that was a 145 and that was a first try one. I would need almost almost double the amount of damage. To be able to get the 150 to happen. Obviously, I had a lot of deaths in there, so that took up a lot of my time. But who gets the sub? Uh, let's go with Panlo. I needed a pound line. Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, the spawns are bad. The 2 pound lines that were left were channeling and power, and both of those are pretty good. Power is obviously really good, but like channeling would have been like, actually power is really honestly the best power line to get for this setup. Power. So for pushing, if with fire or whatever, power is the best. Shielding's the second best. Conduit, then channeling, then speed. Yeah, if I had a power, man, like I'd be mowing down like yeah, no power that run. No power, no channeling that run. I don't think.
Okay then, guess it's my turn.
Anyways, that was fun to try. I was like, yeah, I think I can get it. I can do a one off. But it'll be close. Oop, that hurt. Tracks. Appreciate the follow. I don't know where I'm going.
Let's see the gem.
I am returning to town.
Always think the end of that song is always kind of cute. The kid at the very end. Oh, I got hit. Your jam. Okay.
I'm overburdened.
You have a gem?
I am returning to town. Excellent.
Fortune favors. Ooh, that's nice. Can I have it
I
back?
can't carry anymore.
You look like you could. Well, isn't that nice?
This song has like a serious vibe to it.
Fortune favors. See you soon.
My pack is full.
You look like you could use a new. That's nice. Can I have it back?
Okay. All right. I think that's gonna be it for me tonight. In terms of the grind. Now, the past couple of days has been a little bit longer of a stream, but I am a little tired. So that was great. I'm still mad about like those, what was it, those two projectiles that did not hit me. Like I was literally like almost half a screen away. and, and apparently the desync in the server was like, still hit me, man. But my prediction was correct. I mean, I pretty much can, for the most part, key in any 145 with this exact setup and be able to like get the clear, which means that like obviously with some fishing, the 150 on a more proper setup, of course, wouldn't be too far away. But I definitely want to do more of the I do want to spend more time trying to get the 150 on the UE, so I'm gonna actually augment that and then do the 150 first on UE, and then peel back around and then possibly do shadow or whatever. What, Eric? What you laughing at me for? But yeah, that was fun. Who to go to? We went to sell kittens yesterday. Let's go to Panda. He's doing Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's kind of hard to rate anyone in this in the D3 category because there are a lot of people who are like just straight up cheating. So I'm just like, I don't necessarily raid to them, but all right, enjoy Panda. Sadly, you will not see me tomorrow night, or I guess Sunday night, tonight, or whatever. Sunday nights are my nights off. The only time I do stream on Sunday nights is if I miss a day during the week. Then I'll kind of make it up on Sunday. Or if there's like a new season that released that weekend or something, then of course I'll stream that Sunday. So other than that, Sunday nights are usually my night off. So definitely that'll be the case this time around. Next Sunday, I will be streaming Sunday night because our Monster Hunter Wilds, releases that weekend. So, I'm gonna be on that grind for that weekend for sure. But anyhow, I will see you on Monday. On Monday, we will start our UE 150 pushes. So be there for that. That's me, kind of fun and cool to watch. Then Awakening in May. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys. You guys can be literally anywhere else, but you're here watching and supporting the stream, and I definitely do not take that for granted. Enjoy Panda, and as always, till next time.